Greetings, fellow Wardens of the Ark. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, Episode 15, Taking Prisoners. Now, hypothetically, it would be more efficient for us to try to wear travel wear. Bang for the buck, it is a little bit more insulating than button down. And as far as our ideology goes, there is not really a specific clothing requirement. It's just that we wear clothing. So, pants and shirt, basically not nudist, is the only thing that we really believe in. Not that anyone would want to be naked in this cold. It is negative 106 Fahrenheit out, so, you know, I don't think it's going to be that hard to convince people to wear clothing as a result. So there's like 3 bodies in the vicinity that still need to be sort of tidied up. We are 5 days out from winter. And I am watching everyone like a hawk to make sure they don't freeze to death. It is frighteningly cold out. Crimson Rouse, thank you for the resub. Alright, Progadog, you are too cold to be there. Go warm up. And Axios, I'm going to have you go warm up too. Relaxing socially in there is a bit of a problem. It's like, that's not the warm zone. I think we're also going to choose to build a roof over this section. No, maybe not. I don't really mind if there's snowfall. I'll build a roof over where the doorways are. Axios going for the last corpse. And we're getting the doorways freed up so that we can start to build these spike traps. One might argue that building these spike traps in a heated environment and then moving them would be smarter. I don't necessarily disagree. I just think logistically this is a little bit easier. And I think we're getting to the point where it's possible that some of this project is going to have to wait until the spring. I mean, it's so cold out. It's not even winter yet, but it's so cold out that, like, we really can't even go out without freezing our butts off. So this parka, for instance, at good quality, and this is what I was saying before, that even at good quality, we have an insulation of, let's say, 39.6 Fahrenheit, up from his poor, which is 36. So, it is a gain of some insulation from poor to good, but, like, honestly, not... Oh, no, poor to normal to good. But, like, not enough to necessarily warrant tailoring new clothing, I think. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is have them all stay behind the walls and see if that's going to be enough. I'm also going to set the mortars to hold fire, but I'm going to load them so that they're ready to go. Okay, they're loaded up. Perfect. So I think in, I'm going to put everyone to close again. I do have the spike traps forbidden at the moment, but this is so that we maybe are able to do some repairs. Is the Taylor still on? It's not powered, so, no, it never has been. Where's... Oh, Zeuson's relaxing. Okay. Little frostbite. We're okay. Negative 110 Fahrenheit. Ah, lovely. This winter is going to be so much fun, given that we already have negative triple digits. Would it be worth moving one heater over to the rec room? Maybe. I don't think it's going to make... It really only matters if we can make enough of a dent to remove the hypothermia risk. I can try. I'll try to switch the heaters around. It will add a bit of power requirement, though. But maybe. So I'm going to have this heater work until, let's say, negative 36 Celsius. And see if it can make a dent. But I kind of doubt it will. The other thing that we could do, which I don't love the idea, but like we could separate it out. Where there's a door, so like where we eat and where we recreate are physically separated, at least until we have more power to be and more steel and components to be able to add more heat. Yeah, we can keep an eye on that. Maybe it will make enough of a difference. I really don't know. What I do know is I want to get back to deep drilling, or deep scanning, for resources. So, likewise, I think what I'm going to do is reduce these down to, like, negative 29 and negative 31, so that they are trying to take the edge off the bitter cold, but that they're not actively trying to warm it too much, because I don't think it's all that rational to try to bring it up too high. So it looks like the heater in here, one heater in here is not enough. It's not really cutting it. It was a good idea, though. I liked it as an idea. It seems like a second heater would be enough. If we could get a second heater in there. Alright, the corpses are all removed. And I haven't forgotten about the multiple siege sites. I just wish it was safe to go out there. I mean, it's a little warmer now that it's like midday than it usually is, but even then I think it's probably too cold to really venture out too far. power. Oh, yeah, actually, it's hovering around the acceptable temperature in here now. Which is good. So it won't harm us while we're in there. Alright, Zeusin, I think you are due for more cooking soon. Also, Axios, you are going to temporarily be pulling extra duty here. Just so that we can get the basins re-sown. Another tattered apparel warning for Axios for his shirt. I think what I will do is to attempt tribal wear in lieu of shirts and pants, at least for now, until we can afford nicer clothing. And I'm going to turn on the basins for cotton again, because it seems like a lot of the initial clothing that we had is starting to wear down. And we're going to probably have a lot of replacements to tailor. I also think I'm going to keep the grow light off for a little while. I forgot to turn off the ground pen scan overnight. And Axios now back to normal schedule now that everything is done. Are there natural fibers warmer than cotton? No, there are not. Okay, some of the deadfall traps get made. We're still in power positive. I think I'm not going to work drive so that we can do combat command if we get attacked by scary groups. And as you can see, it takes a while to make these traps. In fact, it takes long enough that maybe the future traps that I lay out, I will build and haul. Build somewhere warm and haul, because I think it's going to be easier to do that, even if it is a bit more micromanagement. Well, let's see if they can finish that off. Is the corridor roofed? So here is the roofed area. I could actually re-roof the mortars for now. Until, of course, we have need of them to try to retain a little bit more heat. I think I'm going to intentionally turn off auto rearm. So that we don't bother trying to rearm it down here, but instead I build it and then move it in position. So we still have that tattered apparel. Now that she's asleep, turning that off. Virtual opportunity soon for the Pilgrim Festival. Yeah, I don't think we'll be doing that. We've had kind of a long respite from raids. I'm probably thinking that it's just so cold that, like, the storyteller's like, yep, raids aren't even viable right now. Okay, so she is now tailoring that tribal wear. And I'm curious to see what the temperature differences are going to be as a result. So, Axios, you have insulation down to negative 38 Celsius. Negative 40. Okay, yeah, it's a bit of a net benefit. As I knew that going in, that it was slightly better, but not by much. And Axios is getting some of the deadfall traps constructed and moved, rather. And then we can just build copies to put in what we've built. So Zeusin, now that you're idle, go scan. Oh, or switch out your gear. Is there even stone chunks to haul around here? There's a few that are, like, sort of close. But I personally don't think it's all that worth it at the moment, given that the risk of hypothermia is rather high. It's probably best that we just, like, leave the stone out there alone during the coldest months. We can always deep drill it if we really needed to. How many days till winter? 2. You can see the time over here. Okay, she's returning back to the room. Good. Anything I could do about your needs? Let's have you consume some ambrosia, tea, and beer. Trying to keep you from mental breaking again, because that is a real problem when it happens. Alright, we are having a brownout, so ground scan, you are off for a bit. It's about, the grow light's about to turn off as a result of its not growing time, so there we go. What power? The 15 watts for the wall lamps, really, just in the scheme of things, isn't much, so I'm not going to bother trying to, like, min-max it and turn those off. We have most of the trap hallway done. We only have the stone for one more, so it's what? 1, 2, 3. Oh, perfect. I have exactly the right amount of stone for this project. At least for now. Psychic drone or female. Alright, that's not going to be good. Scuffgrim, thank you for the resub. Oh boy, negative 86 Celsius. We're 87. We're just about on the threshold of setting records. Would putting vents between the greenhouse and the rec room work? No, it would just freeze the absolute hell out of the crops. Crops would die, and then we would die. The heaters here, all 4 heaters, cannot keep up with the ambient temperature as it is already. The heater set to the coldest temp is set to like 58, and it's not even keeping it 58. So there is not a an ounce of heat left over to go anywhere else. Yeah, we are at -89, so we're tied for Earth's record, cold temp record. The coldest it's ever been recorded, at least. And nearly at the -100 Celsius threshold of Frostpunk itself. When things get crazy. We are going to have quite the idle winter. There's really not much to do that we can do safely. I'd like to try to get more ground scanning going, but it does wear out our... It wears what little power we have very quick. I'm going to do a full shutdown of the farm. And then before the crops actually physically die, I'll turn them back on. I'm just keeping an eye on the basin. Scorpio, thanks for all the gifted subs as well. Cheers. All right, basin's on. And let's try to bring this to harvest. There's not a lot of time left in the growing day, but a lot of this rice is... Well, some of this rice is like almost 70% grown. Super Rascal, thank you for the resub. Cheers to all of you. So if you're wondering what I'm hoping to do, I'm hoping to ground scan something useful. Ground scan buried timber, ground scan coal, ground scan iron. Coal, iron, and timber would help tremendously. That's really, honestly, the big picture priority going on right now. I don't really care about anything else. I just want to start to be able to acquire additional resources so that we're not so resource starved that we're like on the verge of death. Yeah, I could set up basic research for Zeuson's downtime. There is not a good place for the bench though. Yeah, there's nowhere I could put the bench in this room, given the layout of this room. I could set it up in here, but it would mean it'd be really cold. But maybe that's a good idea. So I'm going to start gunsmithing during her downtime. The problem is, of course, that when I want her on the ground scanner, it's hard to push her to the ground scanner as a result. Oh, and we have a Raid of Godless attacking immediately. I doubt you guys are going to survive very much. So right now it's -81 Celsius, and these guys are like completely not insulated for this. This guy is. Yeah, he's pretty well insulated, but the rest of them, like all but two. The other thing I probably ought to make at some point... Well, maybe I don't really care if they trip the deadfall traps. So we do have a valid open path here. It's about 1 day from winter. It's 1 day and 4 hours from winter. And their longest range weapon is 1 bolt action rifle. I think my best shot at being able to mitigate this raid without having to do very much is to continually change the attack point so that they just don't have a chance to actually mess with us. -36 and -32. I'm also trying to keep the recreation room from super frozen temps. Okay, they're mustering in place. So, Fish Pickles has opened up the valid entryway in the back. And we're hoping to just, like, whittle their attackers down. In terms of hypothermia... Oh yeah, some of them already pivoted to the back. That's great. Waste your time. Do you seriously have Hyperweave too? Oh my god. Or we don't strip corpses. It's against the law. Oh, that's why you didn't go down. Go Juice. That makes sense. Alright, Fish Pick. We have definitely messed with their pathing enough that I'm going to have you go close that door. So their longest ranger is probably coming to this spot to try to shoot us, whereas everyone else is just moving around. Hypothermia Serious, ooh, wow, ouch, is setting in for most of them. Ooh, very nice shot. Making them march back and forth until they collapse. We are getting pretty cold. I'm going to flip-flop the valid entryway again. Wow, you were addicted to everything, weren't you? Don't worry, we cured your addiction with a lobotomy. Oh, I think I just lost an eye. Yes, permanent injury to an eye. We're also starting to get pretty badly hypothermic. I'm having them fall back. And group up in the Warren room. Fish Pit can offer himself up as a valid target. They're already fleeing. Okay. Now, there's nothing necessarily against the rules of capturing in order to recruit. Because we can always try to fill our numbers back. So in the future, when we're able to, I will consider capturing for that purpose. And now our rec room is warm enough that it's not, like, killing us. Axios is cleaning up corpses. The droner's over, which is going to be nice for Zeusin. And all three people out here were getting some major hypothermia. I think because of the added heaters into the rec room, the warm zone can now probably include the room itself, the rec room itself. So if I set everyone to warm, it's fine that they're in the other room now, because the other room won't cause hypothermia. It's not warm, per se, but they won't freeze to death in there. Alright, flicking off the grow light, because we're about to brown out. Don't want to brown out, because that will hurt the crops. And then also, I'm going to purposely turn off the basins for a bit. I think what I'm going to try to do is rely upon pack of survival meals. I'm gonna let the cotton die, rely on pack of survival meals, and try not to do any cooking for a bit so that I can get more ground scanning going. So the current priority is stay warm in the winter. And it's winter in about 6 hours. Yeah, it's staying warm enough in there. That's nice. So conserving all our power so that we can try to heat up the ground pen scan room. It's going to really fall upon Zeusin to try to get as much scanning done as possible. The other thing is, I think I'm going to spring for one more heater in there. So that she can stay relatively warm. So this is set to negative 29. This will be negative 30. Well, let's see, 36, and then 32. All right, it is part of the behind the walls, so she should. Yep, she's scanning. All right, now that she is scanning, I think it's also potentially safe to use a little bit of our other power to deep drill. Right? If I'm not growing anything, because I've decided to rely upon our stockpiled food, I might as well deep drill up some slate and cut the slate. Meaning, I'm going to move the stone cutter into the rec room as well. So this can be more or less just a dedicated research room. It does mean that like half of our people are idle, but that really honestly can't be helped. It's just too cold to do much of anything. Now, because it is winter, I am allowed to start burning corpses as a source of heat. And I'm curious how much of a difference it's going to make. So Axios is the only one that's allowed to do that, but he has just set the corpse pile on fire. And it is raising the temperature inside of the base up enough to help mitigate some of the worst temps. Does the drill make heat? No. The smelter does, though. If you were wondering. Yeah, it's actually kind of room temperature right now, having burnt those corpses. Now, the heat won't stick around for very long, but it is a nice brief reprieve. As you can see, if I leave the temperature overlay up, very quickly that heat dissipates. The door here, yeah, you're right, should be closed. These doors have to stay open for defensive purposes. So for those that don't know, if you do not have a valid path for raiders to come into your base, they will make one by breaking your walls down. So if you don't have at least one open path, all raids are breach raids. All raids are sap raids. It's a very dumb way to play. I got a lot of questions about that. Lo, you're leaving the doors open constantly. It's like, I know, because they have to be, or I die. There's really not a lot of options there. But yeah, having one of the piles lit, like, maybe once every half day, if there are corpses available, helps to take the edge off from hypothermia, it seems. Doesn't do a ton, but enough, I think, to warrant the effort. But it's like Axios' full-time job now. He proposed it, though, so it falls to him to do it. And because we're in a power-positive situation, Ooh! Most of the ash has settled. Great. Which means that it can start to be a little bit more warm. Alright, fish pick has tattered apparel, and it is tattered toque. I think we are fast approaching a time when we're going to need to either just wear tattered apparel or dedicate some benches to cotton, but the problem is I just don't have the power for that at the moment. I'm going to try to raise the temp in this room up even higher. I like how Pierogadog is like, hey, where's the chunk? Where's the chunk? Give me the chunk. Just standing around constantly waiting for it. Yeah, even with all these corpses, we are really not heating up in a significant way. That ground scan room is still pretty frigid. Oh, that should help. Pierogadog's getting a little bit of psychic soothe assistance. Saving Helga. Doubt. The stalwarts are probably like, we enshrine... Oh, here we go. Multiple angles, attack immediately. Assault rifle. In terms of installation, not very insulated in that group. This other group. Worse weapons, better insulated for a lot of them. Got it. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is, given that our normal meals are gone, set us up to any meals. No, I'm not ready to do that yet. Set us up to any meals so we can eat. And then I don't have time to go fire up another corpse pile. But the fires are helping to mitigate some of the cold here. And I think what I'll do is I'll fish pick run and move the heaters for the defenders in so that they can be warmed while defending. This guy's pretty well armored with a decent rifle, and he's already down. Good. He was the enemy of most concern. Of this group, most of their weapons are pretty garbage. They do have one Molotov, but, you know, it's free heat. Where are you going? Taking one heck of a roundabout way to get shot. Despite Axios' eye injury, it doesn't seem to really deter him very much. He's still landing targets. These heaters are not making much of a dent given the 3 open doors. I think I'm going to have Pierogadog close this door, make it 2 doors, give him less of a line of sight, but maybe it stays a bit warmer? Yeah, it's starting to stay a little bit warmer, that's good. I need to recruit? I'm not going to really worry about that until the opportunity presents itself for capture. When you're fighting for your life, planning to win is getting ahead of the game, I think. Alright, forcing them to take a different approach. Rear door opened, front door closed. Nope, why are you doing that? I have no idea why that door was swung open. Alright, those heaters are making it nice and warm in here. As soon as Axios gets patched up, the hatches get toggled, and we go for the attack again. Fishpick is ready to swap the doors again. Alright, so this person is like downed and not dead. Tough super mutant. Let's try for it. I kind of doubt that they are brought into cover and patched before death, but one can try. I'm even going to do field triage because it looks like they are coming around the back now. And Fishpick beat them to it. Path is open. I don't know if this guy's going to survive very long. Zeusin's doing one quick patch and then dragging him in. Alright, they're starting to drop due to the cold. They're fleeing. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, which originally streamed live on Twitch February 2nd. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow members of the Ark.